In this video, I want to talk to you about another way of being able to dispute those derogatory accounts or items that are on your credit report. This versus the traditional factual disputing, which most of us have been doing when we're trying to repair a credit. Now, I've been using Metro 2 compliance challenges, and I have to admit, I'm pretty happy with the results that I'm seeing. I've been able to get late payments removed, collection accounts, charge off accounts, and even repos removed. I'm going to explain what Metro 2 is all about and how this differs from factual disputing. But first, make sure you're following me so that you get notified when I drop more credit education content. And then after you watch this video, go see link 1 in my bio or in comments, depending on which one of my channels you're watching this on. This if you want to see what a Metro 2 compliance dispute letter looks like. So this is going to be a part 1 on Metro 2 disputes. And then I'm also going to do a part 2 video on pre-litigation disputes, which is something else that I'm pretty excited about. First, let's talk about factual credit disputing and what it is. It's when you dispute inaccurate or erroneous information that's on your credit report. This process typically involves one, reviewing your credit report, and then two, being able to identify any factual errors, inaccuracies, erroneous items, and then three, disputing these errors with the credit reporting agencies, also known as the credit bureaus. This to have them do one of two things: correct or remove the account. Now, this can be a lengthy process, as I think a lot of us are seeing and would agree to. The credit bureaus are overwhelmed with thousands of requests that they're getting daily. I believe these processing teams within the credit bureaus may have 15 employees or so. They're sending out these stall tactic letters all the time, or the it's been verified letters. My personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, is that they don't want to remove your derogatory accounts that have reporting errors. Why? They make money reporting on these accounts. Who do you think is paying them to report these accounts? It's the debt collectors. That's why I say freezing your credit report in an attempt to sort of block the debt collector from accessing your account, it does not work. The credit bureaus are not about to bite the hand that's paying them. They communicate with each other. Also, the credit bureaus sell your information as part of these subprime lead lists. So when you're getting all of these opt-in offers, the subprime market is a money-making market for lenders, as you can imagine why. If you're in this bracket and you get approved for a loan, you're going to pay way more in interest rates and whatnot. So why would the credit bureaus want to move you out of the subprime category? Now, this is just my opinion based on my own research. So, what are Metro 2 compliance challenges? Some of you may have heard of this. This is not a credit repair method. It is actually a language. And as credit repair businesses, we have access to the software that creates what can be some pretty aggressive Metro 2 letters that challenge how a derogatory account or item is being legally reported on the back end. So with Metro 2, this is a universal language and it's a standard of reporting that all of these companies, the banks, the lenders, the credit card companies, have to use in order to send data about you over to the credit bureaus, who then add that information to your consumer report. The Metro 2 system is a fully FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act compliant system, and it was actually implemented by the credit bureaus themselves. If this sounds confusing, let me give you a bit of an analogy that I think might help. Think of medical billing. So you go to the doctor, you get the bill in the mail from your doctor's office and from the insurance company telling you how much they will cover. It's all in pretty simple English layman's terms. So you look this information over and you make sure it's correct. You make sure there aren't any errors. You are factually checking it over. And if there are any reporting or billing errors, you're going to factually dispute that. Now, most of us are going to pick up the phone, call the doctor's office, and we're going to speak to the billing department to get it corrected. We may even speak to our insurance companies to get it corrected. Now, what we don't see on the back end is the language that the doctor's office uses or the hospital that they use to bill your services to, for example, the insurance company. That language is called medical coding. Medical coding is the process of taking a patient's healthcare information, like medical procedures, maybe a diagnosis, necessary medical equipment, and medical services information from the physician's notes. A medical coder will transform this information into universal medical alphanumeric codes. So now that you've got that analogy, let's go back to Metro 2 because it's a similar analogy, only it's between your for example, your credit card company or your lender sending over your account information in a Metro 2 language. That's also a universal alphanumeric set of codes. So the accuracy and the completeness of Metro 2 reporting and standards for an account that is reporting on your credit report are set much higher. And guess who sets these standards? It's the credit bureaus themselves. Metro 2 standards are strict. There's an increased emphasis on the completeness and the accuracy of the data that's being transmitted to the major credit bureaus, and then the data that's being published by each of the credit bureaus. So now let's talk about using Metro 2 compliance as a credit repair tactic. Metro 2 compliance can be a pretty effective process of using the credit bureau's own eOscar system to verify whether items on a credit report meets these Metro 2 compliance standards. There's a huge difference between a traditional credit repair factually disputed letter and a Metro 2 compliance letter. This based on the Bureau's own eOscar system. So when a Metro 2 compliance challenge is sent for a derogatory account, it triggers this eOscar system to electronically evaluate whether all data is mandatorily perfect and complete in regards to this Metro 2 formatted reporting standard, and if it's being properly reported within the compliance standards set forth by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The fact is, you can have a legally collectible item not be legally reportable. So if you are struggling with getting results in your credit repair efforts based on factual disputing, you're pointing out reporting errors and the credit bureaus are coming back with, stall tactics, it's been verified, or they're not even responding, sending Metro 2 compliance challenges may be able to help increase the effectiveness of the letters that you're sending and can help to get better results. This is because you're leveraging the credit bureau's very own systems to do your work for you, and then you're bringing the power of all of the consumer protection laws as well as the bureau's own self-stated reporting standards at the same time. So see link 1 in my bio if you'd like to see what a Metro 2 compliance letter looks like. And then if you'd like a round of Metro 2 challenges, you'll be able to set up a consultation with me. I have the software that can create these letters for you. And then follow me for part 2 where I talk about pre-litigation disputing and what that's all about.